A Chicago ER doctor who was in the thick of the mayhem, sadness, loss, and the overwhelming hospital experience of the pandemic journaled every single day about what that experience was like. He turned that journal into a new book called The Emergency, a year of healing and heartbreak in a Chicago ER. His name is Thomas Fisher, and he is joining us this morning now to share that experience. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I know your book has a lot to say. What made you decide to do this?
Well, I've been taking care of people on the south side of Chicago for about 20 years. And in that time, I've seen people trapped by systems that elevate profit over humanity and transfer care from the wealthiest, from the poorest to the wealthiest. And during COVID, what we saw was these fissures open wide and capture the sickest and most vulnerable, leaving them ill and vulnerable. And in writing this book, it was important for me to talk to my patients and tell them, why is it that you're so sick? Why is it that you see these patterns in your community? And what is it that we can do collectively in order to improve your care and your outcome?
Okay, so during that time, now as you said, you have been treating these patients for a long time now, but during this pandemic, you were keeping such close track of what was going on. What did you notice about what was going on at your facility and others compared to the situation before? Did the problem grow exponentially? How would you describe that?
American healthcare has been relatively similar throughout the 20 years that I've been taking care of patients. But what we saw was certain people were identified as essential workers, people who are driving our trucks, stocking our shelves, delivering care, and delivering food to our homes. Those folks were disproportionately lower income, disproportionately Black, disproportionately brown. And they weren't safe at home watching the pandemic evolve on a screen and working from home like other folks. Those are the folks who filled our emergency departments with COVID. While in those time periods, hospitals like mine and others around the country benefited from federal support and streamlined their care in order to serve them most efficiently, what we saw were the same racial inequities, particularly in this moment surrounding COVID, that we've seen for diabetes, for hypertension, for gun violence. And I wanted to speak to that. I wanted folks to know that what they're seeing is not something specific to them, that this is a system that's bigger than their community, their city, or their hospital, but as big as the United States itself. These are the choices we've made around organizing our healthcare system and the society that keeps us well or makes us ill.
Now, I understand you're brutally honest in your book about this, about how the healthcare system steers clear of the poor. It avoids the neighborhoods they actually stand in. In your case, particularly the neighborhoods on the south side, you talk about everything that you went through, including the heartbreak. What was the moment during this that was the toughest for you when you refer to the heartbreak that you witnessed with your own eyes?
You know, I think at the beginning, as COVID descended on society and there was so much uncertainty and fear, that was one of the most challenging periods because I have older parents that I wanted to protect and a family full of people who are young and old, some with immunocompromised, and I wanted to make sure that everybody stayed safe. And I knew that some of that would be up to us rather than the collective public health initiatives that are going to be required to maintain a broad safety net to keep all of Chicago safe. As we roll into another wave, it's going to be similarly important that we think about this collectively, that we're not individuals, but we're working together in order to improve everybody's care. What we need is a revolution in the way that we see humanity, that we owe one another our health and our safety, that it is our bodies that are the most important things. And it is those things that we have to think carefully about how we protect and how we protect one another.
Well, you, as I said, have been doing this for a while. The book is called The Emergency. You give a brutal perspective of the current situation. You've just told us what needs to be done. Thomas Fisher, you have not given up, though, have you? You're hoping that this take-home message is, let's get the change happening immediately?
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still important to take care of each other in the emergency department every day and the way we take care of each other on a day-to-day basis. I think that we built the system as it currently exists, and therefore we can build a better one that actually centers our humanity and elevates people over profit and changes the way we see one another.
Well, we appreciate you sharing your perspective with us. And if people would like to get your book, where can they go about to make that happen?
It's available in local bookstores, online. I mean, if you're interested in Amazon, it's there as well.
Okay, and again, the name of the book is The Emergency, A Year of Healing and Heartbreak in a Chicago ER. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me on.